Welcome back to the Protest Sports NFL Network. Your boy Tone Getting Tech. I am back in the video. If I can talk the right God, George, and build the building for today's video. I'm here to rap to you about the NFL. And today we're doing a AFC tier list. I'm giving you guys why I think where each and every team will be in the AFC. I will have a voiceover later on this week talking about the entire AFC playoff picture and why I'm making the playoffs and why. So that'll be there on this week. As of right now, you just get tier list if every team stands. Let's talk about it. I think it should be a fun video, and I'm excited to talk about this. So let's do it. I'm gonna waste no time and get right into it. I'm gonna start with the bottom of the tiers, and then we'll get up. So I have 6 different tiers here. Bad, just bad. Not. I'm starting to rebuild. In a rebuild, not there yet. Offs. Are you going to the playoffs? Contenders, and then top dogs. Let's do it. So start with bad, just bad. The Dolphins is a bad football team. They're a long way to go. They just tore their whole bear apart. I saw them at the Commanders, and they're joint practice with the Washington Commanders, and they're just a bad football team. They're just bad. I like Caleb Douglas. I like Austin Jackson, Patrick Paul. I think Malik Willis would be okay as a quarterback. Devon Aching's still a dog, but it's not enough. It's just not enough, bro. Like, it's just not enough. And then defensive, I like Jordan Brooks and a couple other pieces. Chop Robinson notably as well, but it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. All right, so in the rebuild, Browns are in a rebuild. You can argue with your mama. Their quarterback battle between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders is interesting. I think it should go to the young pup, man. I know they're playing Deshaun a crap ton of money. Just go with the young guy, bro. You're not winning anything this year. You need to find who your franchise quarterback is. And Deshaun Watson probably isn't that. Give Deshaun this time. Don't stay healthy. Another reason why I would go with Shedeur, because at least Shedeur played all the games he was available for. So I'm going to go with Deshaun fine, but cool, whatever. They traded their best player away, so obviously they're in a retooling phase. They bought in Jarrett Verse, which I think is a good pickup. He got a first-round pick and a couple of picks to go ahead and pick some more players. Andrew Berry does know how to draft players, though, so I give him credit for that. Got Quinshon Junkins and a bunch of other guys I do like on the roster. I like the young players. So got Denzel Ward as well, so they just gave him a 2-year extension. So they might be they can win now. I just don't see it. They're in the rebuild. The Jets clear in the rebuild, right? But I like what they're doing. Drafted David Bailey. Drafted a guy like Omar Cooper Jr. and Keon Sadiq as well in the first round. I like the fact they brought back Geno Smith for 1 year. They drafted Cade Cumlick to be behind him. So if something were to happen to Geno, or Geno just stinks, they can play Cade and see what Cade got. If Cade don't like what Cade Cumlick brings to the table, they always draft the quarterback next year, which I think they should do anyway. I like how they tore their bear down during the trade deadline, trading away Sauce and Quentin Williams, getting a ton of draft capital back and using that in order to replenish their roster. Also, they picked up AD Mitchell in that trade too. Also, like in that Sauce Gardner trade. So I like what they're doing. I got a bunch of young players they kind of want to test out and just see how they fit. I respect it. I'm not the biggest fan of Aaron Glenn's their head coach, but I hope he can get this team rolling, especially defensively this year. Raiders, they're clearing the rebuild. They had the number 1 pick in the draft. Let's just cut the nonsense. I'm glad they're rolling it slow with playing Kirk. I just think this team's going to probably be a 5-6 win team at the end of the day, and that just makes sense. Max Crosby trade didn't go through, but Steph Max, their roster ain't half bad. It's just they don't have a number 1 wide receiver right now. I think that's something they're missing. I think they can continue to fortify the interior of their offensive line. I know they pay a lot of money to Tyler Linderbaum, but they can continue to fix that. Get them a pass for next to Max that's worth a darn, and really kind of fix that secondary too. So those are things they kind of need to work on, but they're well on their way. Especially if Fernando Mendoza does work out. Not there yet. So these are teams that aren't playoff teams yet. I just don't think they're playoff teams as of today, but they could get there if things were to go their way, and also if if their quarterback play gets better. So I start with the Colts. That's a better playoff team. They lost Michael Pittman. They traded him away, obviously, but that's a huge loss. I don't think Alec Pierce is wide receiver one. Uh, their offensive line's solid, but I don't love their offensive line. But I think it's good enough, though. It's more of an it's suffice. It's more of a suffice to be good enough. Don't love Daniel Jones, bro. I don't love Daniel Jones. I just don't like Daniel Jones. Something he's a really good quarterback. Defensively, I do like DeForest Buckner, but he's getting up there in age. Um, Kenny Moore's gone now. I think that's going to be maybe a small loss to you. I know some people love Kenny Moore. Some people don't think Kenny Moore is good anymore. So it depends on who you hear from. I think that's not a critical loss, but I do think it's going to kind of make you suffer a little bit in that slot position. We'll see. We will see. Uh, the Colts draft solid. I don't like their quarterback position. Until they have a quarterback that's a force multiplier, I don't see this Colts team going anywhere. I don't think Alec Pierce a wide receiver one, and they lost some pieces. They didn't really gain a ton of huge pieces back. I don't like their roster right now. I don't like it. I don't like their roster. They took again with Anthony Rich and didn't work out, which sucks, but here's what it is. Back to the Titans now. I'll get to the Titans real quick. So I like this Titans team. Cam Ward should be better in year two. I like the drafting of Cardinal Tate. Might be a little early for my liking, but get your guy and get your guy. I like to pick up a Wanda Robinson. Uh, Not a big fan of Daniel Bellinger, but whatever. We got the Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard backfield. I think it's solid. Peter Skoronski's a really good offensive lineman. JC Latham to continue to get better as well. I like this Titans team. I like this Titans team a lot, actually. Still, Jeffrey Simmons is still a dog. I love like you got Lante Taylor and Cordell Flott. I like what they did there. That was a solid off season. And I think having Robert Salah as your head coach and having Brian Dable as your offensive coordinator is also a good look as well. I think the Titans team could be a 7-win team this year and be in a lot of ball games. Don't think they're a playoff team yet, but when Cam Ward takes a huge leap, that can change a lot of things. All right, offs. These are the teams that think that should make the playoffs, but we're just not sure yet. I'm gonna pick 3 teams out of this that I think. Oh, yeah, 3 teams that I think, or 2 teams that should make the playoffs out of these 5. Start with Steelers. Steelers, I like their offseason. Picked up Michael Pittman, drafted Jeremy Bernard. They got a nice running back, stable, and Jalen Warren, Rico Dowdle, and also Caleb Johnson. They traded in the second round. That 5 was still a dog. Darnell Washington's back. I like the offensive line, especially Troy Fatanu. The defense is solid with Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt. Got that. Nate Herbrig. And yeah, I like their roster. Their roster's pretty good. Aaron Rodgers is 1,000 years old, though, so how long is he going to hold up? I like what I see from Drew Aller and Will Howard as well. So should be a very interesting season for the Steelers. I got him on the outside looking in when it comes to the postseason, but that could definitely change if Aaron can hold up for all 17 weeks. I'm just not sure. He's 42 years old, bro. Like, I don't know. It just sounds like one nasty hit. He's just cooked. So I'm a little trepidant when it comes to that. But I like their roster. Bengals. I like what the Bengals have done, but their defense got to show me, bro. Their defense got to show me something because that defense has been historically bad over the past like 3 or 4 years or so. They don't have Trey Hendrickson no more. They did pick up Dexter Lawrence. Did sign Jonathan Allen. Did some other good things defensively. I think they signed Boye Mafe as well. We'll see. We'll see how all these pieces kind of come together, but they got to show me their defense is vastly improved. I'm not talking just going from the 32nd ranked defense to like 25th. I'm talking you got to be probably middle of the road. It's time for the defense to actually do something. Force turnovers. Do something right. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. Jaguars. They lost a lot of players this offseason. Devin Lloyd's gone. Travis Etienne's gone. A lot of guys are gone. And I just don't know if they can mitigate all those losses. That's going to be interesting. So that Trevor, though, along with BTJ and Parker Washington, and from that, Jacoby Myers, Brandon Strange. He still got. I don't know their running back room though, but I like their other offensive weapons, and I think defensively they still have some good pieces as well. I just don't know. Devin Lloyd's a huge loss, man. I don't know how you recover from that. We'll see. We will see how that goes for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I think I had them also on the outside end as well. Chargers are a very, very interesting team. I gotta recap their draft again. But Mike McDaniel's probably the biggest pickup this offseason. Honestly, as an offensive coordinator, I don't really love their offensive weapons. I like them. I don't love them. Love their running back room. I love Lamar. Chargers in a tough division too, with Broncos and obviously Chiefs, who we'll talk about in a little bit, and even the Raiders can give them some competitive football now too. So I'm iffy on the Chargers, but they should get their tackles back, which that's huge. That's huge. And by that, you would think they're just a playoff team. I think these other teams got better too. We'll talk about in the contenders and the top dogs. And the question is, are they one of the 7 best teams in the AFC? We'll see. Chiefs. Chiefs to me are interesting. I think defensively they got worse. They lost both their starting corners. They did replace one with Mansour Delane, which I think Mansour Delane's been really, really good in the league. We'll see. He's a rookie though, so we'll see. But I like what he brings to the table. I think it's really good. And they did bring on L'Jarius Sneed, so we'll see how that goes. Matt Pats come off an ACL. We'll see how that looks. Rashid Rice can't stay out of jail. Don't like Xavier Worthy right now that much. Travis Kelce's 1,000 years old. Chiefs too iffy for me right now. I would say they're a playoff team just off Mahomes and Andy Reid, but the roster is more to be decided. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I pick 2 out of these 5 teams, I would say the Kansas City Chiefs are maybe a playoff team. And maybe the Chargers. So all 3 of those AFC West teams get in. Don't trust the Bengals defense. I think the Jaguars just fell off. Even the Steelers, to me, I just don't trust Aaron Rodgers to play all 17 weeks. I just don't. That's the only way I don't have the Steelers in the playoffs. Contenders. Bills. The Bills have a really good roster, and they also picked up DJ Moore. I like that a lot as well. Hopefully these other guys step up as well. Like a guy like Keon Coleman who's going to year 3. I think it's huge for him. Might be year 4 for him, actually. Think about it. When was Keon Coleman drafted? 2023, right? When's Keon Coleman drafted? I want to check that out. I think Coleman was a 2023. Second. No, okay, no, it's 2024. She's going to year 3. Okay. First time. So, hopefully. So, yeah, Josh Allen hits Keon Coleman for a touchdown today in preseason. That's good to hear. So hopefully he can step up and do some good things. I like the DJ Moore pickup, though. And the defense is solid. New system, though, so we'll see how that, we'll see how that goes. But I do like the fact they got rid of Sean McDermott. I like the gamble. And going with Joe Brady. We'll see how all this plays out. But I do think that Josh Allen makes these guys immediately contenders. And I like their offense with like Khalil Shakir, James Cook, obviously. Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. They have a lot of offensive weapons, and I like what they bring to the table offensively. Even defensively, a guy like me, like Maxwell Harrison, might step up, that former first round pick out of Kentucky, and some other guys can step up and do some good things. Ovi Milano stays healthy, stuff like that. This bill seems interesting. I like it. Don't necessarily love it, but I do like the team. Baltimore. Baltimore got Lamar Jackson. Obviously, did lose Isaiah Likely though, but I like their defense now with Jesse Minter taking over as the head coach and de facto defensive play caller. I think this defense will go back to being top 10, which will help Lamar out a lot. Don't love Lamar's receiving core still, but it is serviceable. It's doable. It's solid. It's not great. It's good. It's not great. And losing Isaiah Likely doesn't really help it, right? So, like the offensive line, I like the Penn State lineman they drafted to help the offensive line out as well. I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to be one of the best teams in the AFC. Are they Super Bowl contenders? Probably not, but they're definitely a certified playoff participant. They're going to make the postseason, and they'll bounce back from last year, missing the playoffs. Now these are my top dogs. This is not in any order, by the way. Talk about the Broncos real quick. The Broncos were in the conference championship, so I'm gonna give them their flowers. Also, they did pick up Jalen Waddle. They didn't really have to do nothing else. They're just that good of a football team. They lose some players though, but they weren't like critical losses. I think the pickup of Jalen Waddle would kind of offset a lot of those losses. I think offensively they're really good with Courtland Sutton and Pat Bryant, and of course Jalen Waddle, Troy Franklin. They have a very deep Marvin Mims, really deep wide receiving core. I like what they bring to the table, the wide receiver position. Adam Trautman ain't bad at tight end. I like the offensive line, led by Garrett Bowles. RJ Harvey, solid running back. Bo Nick's still a really good quarterback. So I like what the Broncos are. I like what the Broncos are selling. So shout out to the Broncos, and defensively they're just super good with Nick Benito leading the charge there. Patriots. They were just in the Super Bowl. Given that I think if Bo Nix played that game, I do think that the Broncos would have been in the Super Bowl. But another topic for another day. I won't attack the Patriots for that. They got to the bowl. Can't hate them for that. Drake May had an MVP caliber season. Did not win the MVP. Was runner up to Matthew Stafford. I love the AJ Brown pickup, obviously, for them. Getting on a true wide receiver one and puts everyone in their proper slots. They also picked up Romeo Doubs. I like that pickup. Their receiving core is Brown, Dobbs, Kayshon Boutte, Cal Williams, Pup Douglas, Mac Hollins. Like, bro, that wide receiving core is super, 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 super deep. And pause, by the way. They have a really, 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 really. They can get in their bag with wide receivers. Like, they can really interchange. My guys can go make plays. I like the running back room with Ramondre Stevenson and TreVeyon Henderson. I think TreVeyon Henderson is going to take a huge year two leap and really, 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 really turn up this year. And I think defensively they're pretty good too. So Patriots, man, they might go back to back Super Bowl appearances, man. I like what they've done. But it is kind of in order because I do love the Houston Texans a lot. Tank Dell's back. Shout out to Tank Dell. I love that for him. I'm so happy for him. Also, they got Nico Collins, and of course CJ Stroud is kind of a question mark. So actually, I'm gonna switch this up. This is in a little order, but we're gonna put Patriots my top dog right now, and then the Texans be right behind. So their team is so good in Houston though that if CJ just doesn't screw it up, they should be fine. That's all I'm asking for CJ right now. CJ, don't screw it up, bro. Just don't mess it up. Like, you have Nico, Tank, Jaden Higgins, Jaden Noel, like your receiving core. Dalton Schultz at tight end. Offensive line is starting to kind of gel, get a little bit better. I love the David Montgomery pickup. A little costly, but I like the David Montgomery pickup. The defense is insane. Daniel Hunter, Will Anderson, Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley, Kamari Lassiter. Defense is insane. Aziz Shire. Like, defense is insane. They picked up Kamari Ramsey in the draft. They got Reed Blankenship. Like, that defense is crazy, bro. Then they got KD McDonald too. Like, bro, defense is crazy, bro. They got KD McDonald that can replace Tim Settle. Like, bro, defense is crazy, bro. They're the best defense in the league. No funny. If you add more pieces to it, come on, stop. See, they don't got F it up, bro. That's it. You don't F it up, they good money, bro. So that question mark, I gotta put the pictures over them because I don't think they have a correct question. Unlike when they do have a correct question because of C.J. Stroud's consistency. But that is my AFC tier list. I think right now the Patriots are top dog. In Houston, in Denver, I think the Ravens and Bill are contenders. The teams I think are going to make the offs out of these 5 teams are going to be the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't trust their defense, but I do trust Joe Burrow. They got to make the playoffs this year. They missed the playoffs 3 straight years. That's ridiculous. The Colts and the Titans are just not there yet. I just don't think they're playoff teams. The other 3 teams here on the rebuild have been the Dolphins stick. And don't forget, video.com, subscribe to the channel on the road to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, like the share button. Thank you guys so much for all the assistance today and watching today's video and comment your thoughts on this AFC tier list. Have a great day. I'll catch y'all next one, man. Peace.